Right. Yesterday we introduced a new feature and it's called, of course, the newspapers. How obvious a name. But yeah, very creative. We
Unbelievable. No one would figure. And you know what we're doing in this segment? We're taking a look at the front pages of newspapers. So let's do it. Let's show you. So we've got a couple of the front pages, and we asked you if you were enjoying it and if you liked it and if you wanted it, and you do. So we're very happy that this is now going to become a feature on the program. So let's see what we got first. I think we've got the Star that we've got as a front page. So let's have a look and see what the Star are running with. Staff let off for a 316 million SASA loss. Goodness me. Okay, that's the one big story there.
Wow, that's a big story, especially considering, you know, how people are struggling. And SASA, of course, catering for the most vulnerable in our society. The details on that story really worth looking into. 316 million rand SASA loss. Can we even afford such at this stage? But yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, another one saying Tele not ready to apologize for saying shut up to crime activists. Remember that story from yesterday? He was ordered to apologize, but Tele saying he's not. And then finally, Kang's face battle to bury grandson. That's one of the other stories that the front page of the Star is running.
All right, moving on to the next one. Let's see what we have. All right, we'll bring up the next one, Business Day now. This is the next paper, and this is the front page this morning. Clock ticks for mining towns, and this is mining towns in the Free State in particular. PwC, they did a study, shows there's about 6 years of gold operations left in the Free State. So quite a worrying one, that one, considering the number of jobs that could be lost through that. Also, SA will not demand US apology. That whole Lady R saga.
That really jumped out at me, that particular story. So nothing to come of it. That's it. It's just no apology, no nothing. Obviously, we know AGOA is going to be happening.
Yeah, but government has decided not to demand an apology. I think it's all about trying to mend relations at this point, de-escalating. Diplomacy and what goes with it.
What goes on in the background.
That's at play there.
I've got a little bit more. I can read like the first paragraph. At least the government has decided not to demand an apology from the US ambassador when he caused a diplomatic storm between two countries after accusing SA of providing arms to Russia. And they were just saying that the Sydney Mufamadi said government has decided not to push for a recall of Brigity after the panel established by the president found there was no evidence. So that's it. I mean, the article goes on, but nothing. That's it. It's over.
The headline is the story there. And the other one that's quite interesting there is fiscus to gain as diplomats' duty-free booze dries up. Now, this I thought was very interesting. In this story, the South African fiscus will save 100 million rand a month. This after the Constitutional Court shut the door on diplomats getting alcohol and tobacco products duty-free, a privilege that the National Treasury suspects was abused as some dignitaries were selling the products on the black market.
Goodness me.
So yeah, very interesting story, that one.
Okay.
So those are some of the stories on the front page of today's Business Day.
All right, on to the Sowetan. Oh, the Citizen? No, we've got the Citizen up next, and this one is all aboard the Lesotho Express. That's the big story that they are looking at, and this high-speed Joburg-Polokwane rail link, part of the greater vision. So the Gautrain 80-kilometre rail is set to grow another 115 kilometres with 19 more stations if Cabinet gives a massive vision the nod. So that's according to the Premier Panyaza Lesotho, saying that the first high-speed rail link between Johannesburg and Limpopo is to be established. So there we go. That's that very big one. That's on the front page there. And then, of course, bringing home the medals. That's another story that's on the front.
That's the picture there. South African Special Olympics team. They met with President Cyril Ramaphosa at the Union Buildings yesterday, bringing home 49 medals, the Special Olympics team. So well done to them. Also, tank is full, but food basket is smaller. What it costs to fill up and what grocery items you'll give up in order to try and balance the scale. So that's the front page of The Citizen.
All right, and then finally what we've got for you is the Sowetan. So the Sowetan, their big one is saying, we never backed this. State entities advertised as sponsors distanced themselves from a gig featuring Kanye and Zodwa Bout. So that's the story that the two of them were meant to be taking on, or are taking on each other in this big boxing match. But this, of course, the sponsors are removing themselves, saying, no, we had nothing to do with this. Our logos were used unlawfully. So that's what they are saying there. So that's a very interesting story if you want to read that one. And then Woolies limit egg purchases, Pick and Pay likely to follow. We spoke about that in Trending Topics. So they're limiting how many eggs you're allowed to buy. There are not many eggs out there. So that's a big problem. And then AKA gets most nods for the Samas. And Sun City loses out to Durb. So those are going to be held in Durban, and AKA getting lots of nods there. And then finally, Erasmus Bucks look to make amends against Downs. So that's the front pages of your daily newspapers.